Are you searching for the perfect love? You can't purchase it, you perfect love. Don't be searching for the perfect love unless the lane you searching for someone inside yourself.
Welcome to the Women in Hip Hop Wednesdays podcast. I'm your host, your music midwife and nerdy hip hop homegirl, Coco Peila. I'm a multi-hyphenate hip hop artist, MC, singer, songwriter, record producer, songwriting coach, and of course, the MC is the part that really qualifies me to take you on this journey. This week, we are bringing back the Breaking Down segment where we crack open one of my songs and we look at the concept, we look at the lyrics, we look even sometimes a little at the production, vocal arrangement, full arrangement of the song. So we talked a little bit about the making of Pretty Girls, behind the scenes of directing, dreaming up, and envisioning, and then actually producing and creating and releasing the Pretty Girls music video in 2021, along with the Pretty Heist initiative that was about Black women and girls liberation, and specifically unpacking anti-Black racism and sexism and the beautification industry, and how it targets Black women, and how Pretty Girls was made as an anthem, you know, as medicine, because that's what I'm doing. I'm always cooking up medicine to, you know, honestly, first and foremost, that's how I came to music, was through how it made me feel and what it enabled me to survive through. And so, you know, I'm always making the music to kind of reroute my neural pathways, to build new neural pathways to help me show up as, you know, the highest, best version of myself, in that, you know, I don't want to be with these limiting beliefs on repeat. And I think that the thing about systemic oppression is that it happens on multiple levels: societal, institutional, interpersonal, you know, and when we experience oppression, we internalize it. And that internalized oppression either comes out towards other people who are like us, right? So other women and girls treat other women and girls in the way that they have been treated and targeted by oppression, or we turn it in on ourselves, right? And so it's really important that we do that healing work in our minds and take charge of our minds and the thoughts that rotate in our minds, almost like a broken record, right? And I think about that Bob Marley lyric. I think I've quoted it before on this show, but he said, "Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds." And that's the thing about oppression, is that it uses oppressive messages, and sometimes those messages get internalized by our people and they get passed down through generations, and we internalize them about ourselves. People, y'all know I'm about to go on a hold up, I'm gonna bring it back. But all that being said, it's no coincidence that under fascism, under authoritarianism, artists are often the first ones that are attacked. I believe Toni Morrison, there's a wonderful speech where she's talking about it, or an interview where she's talking about it. And many folks talk about that. I've talked about one of my favorite quotes, Toni Cade Bambara: "The role of the writer is to make the revolution irresistible." And like I said, I believe that the role of the songwriter is to set that writing to music and rhythm. And it makes sense that oppressive regimes and systems and governments would go for the artists. And we talked about this as well. And I promise you, I'm about to get into breaking down Pretty Girls. But it makes sense that the Trump administration brought on major rappers with millions of followers, right? It's not a coincidence. They understand the power of hip hop. Hip hop has been pivotal in every single political election, I'm talking about presidential, but also on a grassroots and local level. Since its birth, it's impacted the political goings on and the social goings on. Gloria Steinem says that the personal is political, and hip hop, as we were talking about in the episode of God Save the Queens, the essential history of women in hip hop, we heard Kathy Yandeli call hip hop a watchdog from within the storm in that book. And it always has been. And hip hop is not the only culture and the only multi-dimensional, multimedia art form that has been targeted. But if we look throughout history, it has been true that the artists and the art forms get targeted and get censored and also get manipulated and used to influence people. And so the power of influence and the power not just of like culturally, like, oh, this is a cool movement, this is a cool president, this is a cool mayor, whatever it be, this is a cool movement to be down with. There's that aspect of influence, but I think that Bob Marley quote talks about an aspect of influence that's more powerful and potent than any other one, which is what we think about ourselves and others, what's going on inside our minds, right? And that is the thing that is so dangerous about oppression, is not just that the oppressive event has happened, but that when it goes uninterrupted, we then internalize it and can turn it on ourselves or turn it on others. And either way, whether we turn the oppression towards others or we turn it in towards ourselves, like we don't want to turn it towards others, but we still have that pain or that trauma from experiencing oppression, whether it be out in the world or within our family system, coming down through intergenerational trauma or whatever the case may be, a socially traumatizing event like a war or, I think about COINTELPRO in Oakland, California, and the government sabotaging and undermining the Black Power movement and the Black Panther Party from within through, planting drugs within the community and targeting particular leaders to get addicted to drugs in order to sabotage and kind of undo or, try to just, undo the movement or not undo it. The word is, I'm thinking about how like when you pull a thread and unravel, So these places in our minds where we're vulnerable to become soldiers of oppression, where we become vulnerable once we've internalized oppression to carry out the intention of the oppression, to become agents of the oppression. I've heard it used as agents, meaning the oppression doesn't have to keep putting out the messages because now we've internalized it and now we're perpetuating it. We're thinking that way about ourselves and others. We're acting it out on others. And so that place in our minds, that's why lyrics are so powerful, because I could tell you, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. You're so beautiful. You're so powerful. You're wonderful. Fuck white supremacy. I could say those things, but I could also put it in a rap with a irresistible melody. And guess what? That shit will get into your head and you won't even realize it. And that's part of what can be so dangerous about music. And the thing is that who was that brother that wrote Seed of the Soul? Somebody's screaming at the podcast screen right now. Seat of the Soul, excuse me, not Seed of the Soul. Oh, is it Gary Zukav? Okay, anyway, there's a quote that you can use a brick and throw it through somebody's windshield and break the windshield, or you can use that same brick and you can lay it down as the first brick, as the cornerstone of a building. And in that building, you bring people and you feed people and you take care of people, or it's a home. you can take a knife and you can stab someone in the back, or you can take a knife and you can sculpt a beautiful sculpture out of wood. You could take a bow and arrow. Do you know what I'm saying? Y'all know where I'm going with this. To me, that is the pen. That is the word. That is the, the spray can. That is, the body. Like, we can use our resources, and depending on the intention behind the resource that we have, we can cause harm, or we can cause healing, we can cause oppression, or we can cause liberation. And all of us have the responsibility to do the healing and growing work so that we don't unawarely, and definitely not awarely, become soldiers or tools for empire, for oppression, right? And I think it's important, at least in my mind, like I don't really believe that there are natural enemies. I think that all human beings are natural allies, but I do think that people get hurt and people get lost. And I think that some people don't know. I mean, how many times you been lost and you didn't know you was lost? So anyway, that's a whole nother convo, but I think that these times, it's real out here. It's real. And we get to take ourselves seriously as artists. We have a power. And those who would align themselves with oppression and harm and devastation, whether they be lost or not, many, many of them know the power of art and the power of creativity and the power of being able to set something to music and have it take root, plant itself as seed in the subconscious and begin to grow roots and begin to, you know what I'm saying? Because how many negative thoughts have you had that logically, intellectually, you're like, that's not true. But somehow here it is repeating in your head. And I think that that's also another power of music. When I come to songwriting, I come from the place of, we about to clean off that. We about to take, not even clean off that record. We about to take that record out. If it's an oppressive record, we about to take it out, stomp on it, break it, throw that shit out or recycle it. We're not just going to put it in a landfill. Compost that thing. And we're about to put a new record in our minds, something that's going to, reprogram our minds so that we remember who we are. We remember what we're capable of. We remember that we're not alone, that we're connected, all that. So this is Breaking Down Pretty Girls.
Love me to my soul. Fuck me to my soul. Love me to my soul.
She cool play.
Fuck me to my
Yes,
soul.
sir. Yes, sir.
Sweeter than a honeybee, yeah. Black girl, you so pretty. Sweeter than a honeybee, yeah. You're queen bee. Pretty, I'm fly. Got that pro black bear, I got that throwback. Got that melanin and elegant and I'm yes. No weave, no bags, no heels, just flats. 2 legs full of cellulite, no makeup. And I still got them breaking their necks to get next to me. Next to the ground, who next, who he? Cuddling like sex to me. Ooh, we, them exes can't get it. I want it. Shout out to the Rolling Stones, can't call it. Body perfect, like the love of God. One objectified, gotta cut them off. Pop, pop, bang, bang like Chitty. Number 1, represent the head of Itty Bitty Titty Committee. No silicone, pretty dog. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls, yeah. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Pretty. You a girl, you a woman, babe, you got to die. Dios a mía, ain't no fear. Up in love, and you love, so don't let them scare you. Him to thinking maybe Maybelline is got it. Got it, make no mistakes when they created your body. Hot dad, shit. Go ahead with your fat ass, badass self. You don't need no help. Tell them fools, pull back, you don't need nothing else. They got us out here looking crazy. Eating disorders and beefing with each other, sisters shady. For my country girls, city girls, to my bossy girls, prissy girls, athletic, strong and witty girls. Got the goofy, brainy, pretty girls. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Yeah. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Yeah. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Yeah. Then a honeybee, yeah. Black girl, you so pretty. Sweeter than a honeybee, yeah. All of them are pretty girls. Holla, fuck, I hate her though. Holla, fuck, I hate her so. Sayadi, want you when I still stuck by your knees. I'm buying this, buying that. Worry about if they gon' love you if you lose that back. Gain some fat. If you know that's whack, say holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. She a queen when she walkin' the ting. How she rockin' the ting, make them stop in the ting. Every phenotype, every shade, every girl ain't none could compare to a bold black girl, White nose, skin, light skin, dark skin, milk, chocolate, smooth skin, stretch marks, ayy. Nappy girl, loopy curl, faded to braided, Nazi dreaded, it's your world. They ain't messin' with my sisters, try to chain us and break us, but they cannot dismiss us. Freedom cannot resist us. We created existence, revolution, resistance. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls, yeah. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls, yeah.
Yes! I love that song. I do. I love that song. That song is Pretty Girls by me. So let's see. There's so many aspects of this. I think for me, growing up as a little Black girl, I did feel under attack constantly. Like, not enough this, too much that, et cetera, et cetera. And for me, everybody has a different experience, and every girl has a different experience. But for me as a little girl, I also experienced distinct racism and sexism. It wasn't as subtle. It wasn't like I just had a feeling like my Blackness wasn't welcome. It was like people was talking like, you know who I'm talking about? Nappy-headed bitch. You know, like that. Like, people talked about my Blackness. People who weren't Black within my family talked about my Blackness on a regular basis, daily basis. And this is some crazy shit. I remember one of my brothers, an older brother, who didn't identify as African heritage because we didn't know at the time that he had Black African heritage in his lineage through his grandfather's side. He primarily identified as something different. And also, like I said, we were raised like I was Black, but he wasn't Black because we have different dads, and his dad doesn't identify as Black, but mine does. And also where his father comes from is from a different country, where oftentimes people with indigenous heritage to that land pass for not having African heritage, when oftentimes it is, right? And we know that's because of the anti-Blackness and the history of slavery, enforced servitude throughout the Americas. But again, I digress, but not really, because it's not a digression. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So we grew up that I was the Black one, right? And again, this is not to scapegoat that brother, but just to say that the way that it happened in my family, one of the ways was like, he was constantly letting me know that I wasn't beautiful. I wasn't pretty because I was Black. I remember hearing like, oh, my children are going to be more beautiful than yours, or my children are going to be beautiful and yours won't because your nose is like this or your hair is like this. And, you know, of course, I'm a light-skinned Black woman, mixed heritage, light-skinned Black woman with a white mother and proximity to whiteness culturally. So I know that I have privilege being light-skinned. I have privilege as far as, you know, when you have proximity to whiteness, as far as like people in your family, you also have proximity to resources. It doesn't always get distributed that way. But this is all this is all where like songs like this and the way that I think about the world and the way that I think about my intention behind why I make my songs the way that I do comes from these early childhood experiences, and it's part of why I'm sharing it with y'all. By the way, I have a lot of different modalities of healing, anywhere from talk therapy to like just being in the ocean to writing music to, so when I share these things with y'all, it's not from a place of dumping or trying to process it. Once I bring it to the forefront, it's something that I've processed. But I share it because I know that each of you have your own stories too. And specifically for the Black women and girls, like this is why I do this. Like our liberation, our healing, our elevation, like our ease, like our soft life. Like this is why I do this. Like all that I do with us in mind. And that doesn't mean that I do it perfectly. It's not that I'm without mistakes or blind spots, especially as a light-skinned Black woman. There's no way that I will understand the way that actual blood sisters of mine in my family who walk through the world as dark-skinned Black women or, you know, milk chocolate. I don't know if I really want to use milk chocolate because it's like a food, but like, you know, there's a whole range of colors, melanated, like tones, skin tones that we come in. And I can't know what it's like to walk through the world as her. I can be open to hearing and listening and learning um, how to not weaponize that privilege, and how to not become a weapon of colorism and a weapon of internalized racism or anti-Black racism as a light-skinned Black woman. But I think, yeah, that was the thing. That was the intention and idea behind this song, is just bigging us up like Black. You know, I wrote a newsletter the other week that said Black women and girls are the blueprint, period. And I can't remember. I think maybe 3 people might have unsubscribed, but I was like, yeah, unsubscribe if you can't handle it. Like, you know, the first woman was an African woman. Like, this is who we come from. And it's okay. It doesn't have to mean that we're superior. But it is just the truth. You have to put some respect on our names and on the lineage, and thank you. And the truth. And also, again, when someone or a group of people like Black women and girls have been so shitted on, so fucking disrespected, so dehumanized, made to feel like we are just the lowest of the low, et cetera, through the media, through intergenerational trauma, through the government policies, like just on and on and on, and through the way that we've been treated throughout the years. It's really important to counteract that by uplifting us. And if that threatens you, then you just know that you got some shit to work on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, hey. So these prints right here in this room, on my lap, next to me, behind me, these are the last ones that I have. There are about 60 of these prints left. Once they sell out, we are not reprinting these colors, and we're not reprinting the prints because it's some other things in the mix. So I want to make sure that if you want one of these gorgeous prints and the song download that comes with it and the extra secret song download, you have to watch all the March episodes of the Women in Hip Hop Wednesdays podcast to know that there's a little secret goodie specifically only for March that's going to be thrown in with these March Prince. If it makes you feel uncomfortable or like, oh my God, maybe that means that they're saying that we're lower than them. No. Liberating and uplifting Black women to a dignified level, to a level of celebration, of honor, of empowerment, of freedom. It doesn't threaten anyone else, because no one group of people's liberation will threaten another group of people's liberation. That's how you know it's actual liberation. Any type of like, to me, if one group of people is calling it liberation, but it actually harms other people, now we're talking about oppression. That's not liberation. But again, let's get into these lyrics, because these lyrics are tea. So the intro is sweeter than a honeybee. Yeah. Black girl, you so purty. Sweeter than a honeybee. Yeah. Hey. You a queen bee. I didn't warm up, and I kind of hate singing in front of people, so I did my best. But that comes from a Taj Mahal song called Queen Bee, and the original lyrics are sweeter than a honeybee, baby been sweet on me. Sweeter than a honeybee, my queen bee. And so I kind of remixed that and also, sampled that song. But it was important for me to have that like love, that sweetness, that softness, that sisterhood of like, girl, you sweet, girl, you pretty. And I talked about this in the last episode that like the goal actually isn't pretty. I use the word pretty instead of like beautiful girls, gorgeous girls, powerful girls, because it breaks up a certain white supremacist, sexist narrative that Black women are not pretty, attractive, desirable, beautiful. And I know as a girl, I said this also in the last episode, that I didn't grow up being called pretty. I grew up getting called ugly, and the ugliness was directly connected to the ways that I was Black. Like, oh, your nose is too big. It is obviously African. That is unattractive, right? And that was racism. That was sexism, right? And so I think that when we give Black women their flowers, our flowers, what we're doing is we're setting everyone free. Because if there's a fake ass hierarchy of beauty or power, because we're all, to me, you may not believe in God, you may have a different perception of higher power. So not to dictate your spiritual practice or process or how you think about things, but I think of everyone, every human being a child of God, being a divine being. And so we're all on equal playing field, in my opinion. So anytime that there's a man-made hierarchy of beauty, of power, of privilege, of any of those things, we have to break it up. No one's free. Even if you ended up being in the group that's supposed to be at the top, you're not free. You are enslaved too to this hierarchy that is inhumane, and ultimately it's not going to benefit you. So this using the word pretty was a very intentional choice, because I personally grew up with the idea that white women and girls were pretty, but Black women and girls were ugly and were not pretty, and only were pretty if they looked like or closer to white women and girls. For example, with colorism, like, oh, if you were lighter, then you might have experienced being treated or told you were pretty more often. Or, for example, with hair texture, oh, good hair versus bad hair. Well, what is bad hair? More kinky hair, certain types of, and throughout the continent of Africa, guess what? All the hair types exist on the continent, baby. That's why I'm saying the first woman was an African woman. We all come from her. That's our greatest grandmother. And so all those all those hair textures come from the continent. However, there's a hierarchy that was created. And so the straighter, the better, right? And that was supposed to be associated with whiteness, right? Hair colors, blonde versus black, all that stuff. So opening up the song, Sweeter Than a Honey Bee, yeah, black girl, you so pretty. It's like when we see each other on the street and we be like, girl, them glasses, that outfit, that, oh my God, that smile, those teeth, those eyes, girl, that 40-inch bust down, that's the energy that I was writing this with. It's like, girl, I don't even have to see you to just like tell you through this song, you're gorgeous, you're more than pretty. And there's actually the same album. This is on Confessions of a Black Feminist Rapper Part 3, Elevate. There's a spoken word piece called Scars and Stretch Marks. And on it I say, not cute, not pretty, not fine, not sexy, but gorgeous. So I don't even necessarily believe in pretty, but I believed in utilizing it strategically in order to break up this hierarchy. Verse 1, Pretty. Well, it's supposed to be I, like I, I'm fly. Got that pro-black bag, got that throwback. I do. I got that throwback. I'm almost 40. Got that pro-black bag, I got that throwback. Got that melanin, am elegant, and yes. No weave, no bags, no heels, just flats. 2 legs full of cellulite, no makeup, and I still got them breaking their necks to get next to me. Stuttering, who next, who he, cuddling like sex to me. Ooh-wee, them exes can't get it, all want it. Shout out to the Rolling Stones, can't call it. Y'all know what? Can I just pause the verse? I wonder if anyone ever caught that. Y'all know that Rolling Stones song? You can't always get what you want. You can't always. Okay, so anyway, them exes can't get it, all want it. Shout out to the Rolling Stones, can't call it. Body perfect, like the love of God. One objectify, gotta cut them off. Pop. Bang, bang like Chitty, #1 representative of the itty bitty titty committee. No silicone pretty, no. What it felt like as a little black girl was that if I wanted to be loved, this is for me, okay? I know some people might come for me in the comments. You ain't got to come for me. I'm telling you my personal experience is not up for debate, okay? But I felt like, damn, like, to be perceived as pretty, which is what is desirable, I'm going to have to change my hair, my body. I'm going to have to add on hella different like things just to be accepted and loved. And as a young girl, I came from, early on in my life, there were definitely a lot of different periods where I was neglected and mistreated and starving for that love. And so it felt like, damn, okay, so either I could be like cast out and treated like I was nasty and disgusting and undesirable because of my blackness, because of my girlness, because of all these things, or maybe I could like change myself and then I'll be loved and accepted and treated like, oh, it's so nice to be around you. You're so pretty, so on and so forth, right? And I seen that because I would be like, oh, dang, like these other people in my family are getting treated kindly. Well, when you're a child, you need acceptance and affection, and to be included in the group is like a part of survival. As someone who grew up flat-chested and with small breasts most of my life, I remember feeling shame and feeling like, oh, I'm not feminine enough, I'm not this, and, so on and so forth. So that's where that line, wanna objectify, but I say wanna objectify, gotta cut them off, pop, bang, bang like Chitty, #1 representative of the itty bitty titty committee, no silicone pretty dough. And again, these lyrics are about, I create what beautiful is. I decide what beautiful is. I decide what pretty is. I decide that my shit is banging, even though they small as hell. I mean, I'm older now, so some things have changed, but still, it's like, this is good. This is beautiful. I set the standard of beauty for myself, and I'm about to hype myself up like, okay, friend, you perfect the way you are. The chorus is, holla alla dem my pretty girls. Holler. All of them are pretty girls. Holla alla dem my pretty girls. So that's basically the chorus. It's just saying, it's a call and response, right? So when I perform this live, I always say, holla, holla, them my pretty girls. And then the audience responds back, holla, holla, them my pretty girls. So like if you see women that you know, it could be a call. Like what I'm trying to say is like, every single woman is perfect. However, she doesn't have to be serving high femme. She doesn't have to be doing anything. However, it is that you are, mama, you are perfect. And pretty was just, like I said, a disrupting word. Verse 2, PRETTY. You a girl, you a woman, babe, you got it. Diosa mia, ain't no fear. Up in love and you love, so don't let them skier. You into thinking maybe Maybelline has got it. Got it, make no mistakes when they're created. Your body, hot shit. Go ahead with your fat ass, flat ass, bad ass self. You don't need no help. Tell them fools fall back. You don't need nothing else. They got us out here looking crazy, eating disorders and beefing with each other. Sis, it's shady. From my country girls, city girls, to my bossy girls, prissy girls, athletic, strong, and witty girls, gutter, goofy, brainy, gritty girls. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Hey. Then we hit back to the chorus. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. All right, the bridge. Sweeter than a honeybee, yeah, yeah. Black girl, you so pretty. I say purdy in the song. Sweeter than because it rhymes better because I'm a songwriter and an MC. But anyway, sweeter than a honeybee, yeah, yeah. Hey, you a queen bee, yeah, yeah. And I kind of transition it. Sweeter than a honeybee, yeah, yeah. Black girl, you so pretty. Sweeter than a honeybee, yeah, yeah, yeah. All of them are pretty girls. Holla fuck a hater though. Holla fuck a hater. So Sayadi want you in the stove, stuck buying these, buying this, buying that. Worry about if they gonna love you if you lose that back, gain some fat. If you know that's whack, say, holla, them my pretty girls. Holla, them my pretty girls. That bridge, basically what I'm talking about is about capitalism and how capitalism tries to sell us our beauty at beauty supplies. I be in the beauty supply. I get my earrings and my things. Clearly, I'm not never wearing makeup. It's not about kind of like moral superiority, like, oh, I'm a perfect earth mother who never changes my body or appearance. Like I never put on makeup. I never wear earrings. I never wear, like, no, it's not about that. But it's just about interrogating the beautification industry that would make us and brainwash us to feel like it's something missing from us so that it could make money. That's what this is about. Oh, now you feel like you need to buy this. You need to buy that. You need to put on this. No, baby girl, it's you. It's you with the trash bag, with the paper bag on. It's you. It's not, those are nice earrings. It's, ooh, you really rocking them earrings. Ooh, those earrings look good on you. It's you. It's not, what do they say? It's not on you. It's in you. Like, it's you. So that's what that was about. Like, man, fuck systemic oppression and fuck this oppressive ass society that would try to sell you your beauty and your divinity and your worth. Like, no matter what you have on, whether it's super fancy or whether it's, just regular degular, like, it's you. You're that girl. Okay. I know you hear me. You're that girl. All right. Verse 3. She a queen when she walk in a ting, how she rock in a ting, make them stop in a ting. Every phenotype, every shade, every curl, ain't none could compare to a bold black girl. Wide nose skin, light skin, dark skin, milk chocolate, smooth skin, stretch marks, nappy girl. Loopy curls, faded or braided, natty dreaded, it's your world. They ain't messing with my sisters, try to chain us and break us, but they cannot dismiss us. Freedom cannot resist us. We created existence, revolution, resistance. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Hey. Holla, holla, them my pretty girls. Hey, okay. But that is Pretty Girls. I love this song. This song came out in 2021. Go check out the music video. I think these lyrics are perfect, a perfect anthem for Women's History Month. And just for Women's History Month, those who order the print just for Women's History Month, I'm going to throw it in with the song download that comes with the print, just as like a little throwback. So yeah, I love y'all. Hip hop is a conversation. So what the fuck is you saying? What are you calling for? What are you responding with? How are you changing the conversation? How are you adding to it? How are you painting a wider, broader, more accurate picture of reality? Like, you don't need a seat at the table. You could build your own table. Also, just like run up on that thing. Like, your perspective is needed here in the conversation, no matter how you communicate it, whether it's through one of the four elements of hip hop or whether it's through politics or whether it's through, writing and social commentary or building a beautiful, loving family or coaching or through some type of spiritual ministry, like whatever you are doing. This is a conversation, and let what we're saying be relevant and be intention driven, and let us be open to dialogue, because we're guarantee you're not seeing the full picture. You have blind spots. You're making mistakes that you're probably not aware of. You stepping on toes that you might not be aware of. And through dialogue, through conversation, that's how we get a clearer picture of the world, of each other, of how to be better allies and stand in solidarity with one another. So I love y'all. For real, for real.